Hey, what's up, you guys? Jeff Cohn here with another episode of the Team Building Podcast, where we interview top team leaders, broker owners, and thought leaders from across the country. Super excited today to be interviewing myself, Mr. Jeff Cohn, in the flesh. Don't have a guest with me today because we are kicking off our high-level team leader topic for next month, which focuses on recruiting. Lots of industries, organizations, real estate teams, real estate brokerages, corporations, et cetera, have a recruiting arm as part of their HR division. And we have found that recruiting agents is one of the key elements to any successful real estate team or brokerage that wants to scale. And so in the month of April, we're going to be diving deep in the topic of recruiting and helping all of our elite real estate systems clients learn the top ways to recruit talent into their organization. I'm going to go through a couple of those today on this podcast for those that are listening to the podcast. And I want to thank you again for being a supporter. We have an amazing following right now, and we're constantly getting feedback. So thank you again for listening to these episodes. Of course, it's our intention and our desire that some of the nuggets that we're able to share and our guests are sharing on our show will help you guys lead and live the lives of your dreams by getting massive results and helping you scale your businesses. Also, on the heels of that, if you haven't already, and I feel like I say this a lot, and I know it's easy to just skip over this, but if you haven't already, would you please take a moment right now, pause the episode, and go into your podcast app and give us a 5-star review, as well as say something about what you found valuable in one of our past episodes. Give a shout out to a guest, give a shout out to me or Andy Cuny or anyone else, and let us know why you find this podcast valuable. That's the best way to pay it forward for us, because then it adds to the algorithm. So when people search team building or real estate, our podcast is popping up at the top. So if you want other people to find this, please have an abundant mindset and throw that out there. Also, we are hosting one of our top events, if not the top event of the year, this summer in Omaha, Nebraska. It's downtown at the Marriott Capital District. It's called the Team Building Summit. And we've hosted 3 years in a row. Super excited about this coming year. We have the best lineup of speakers we've ever had coming to the Team Building Summit. If you want more information about it, go to the teambuildingsummit.com. And this coming year, we have Brian Charlesworth, the CEO of Sisu. We have Rock Thomas, the CEO of both a market center in Montreal as well as M1. We have Josh Cunningham, the CEO of Rockerbox, and we have amazing sponsors in all of those businesses, as well as Dotloop, Boomtown, and a long list of others. So you don't want to miss out. It's going to be a great event, and we want to see everybody there. If you're a team leader or one of the direct reports of a team leader, you should be there. It's not our workshop. It's very different than the workshop. In addition to the thought leaders and CEOs keynotes that are going to be there, we have 10 current and past elite real estate systems clients that are experts at every topic that we go through as part of the 12-month curriculum that's taught by elite real estate systems. So we'll be diving deep into lead generation, culture, lead conversion, recruiting, all the topics specific to anyone building, scaling a dominant brokerage or team in their marketplace. So we'd love to see you there. All right. Well, those are the 2 housekeeping items. I've never brought those up at the beginning of a podcast episode, but I wanted to get that out of the way so I could dive into the topic of recruiting for these next 15 or 20 minutes. So I launched our real estate team back in 2011. Previous to that, I had worked as an individual agent from 2006 to 2011, and I had been recruited by a lot of brokerages and a lot of other real estate teams. And typically, when I would hear why there was a value add to go to another team, it was always focused on splits. A lot of times people would say to me, hey, Jeff, on our team, we're going to offer a better split than your broker can offer you. It never came down to my net. I rarely heard someone have a business conversation with me about if they were to recruit me, how much I was going to net at the end of the year. And for me, as a business-minded person, that's what would have gotten my attention. When we launched our team in 2011, my assumption was that agents typically were entrepreneurs and had a business mind, and that their interest would be more in the net than the commission split. And so we started trying to have those conversations with individuals, and everyone kept asking, well, what's the split? What's the split? What's the split? Because they were used to or conditioned to ask that, because that's how other people were choosing to recruit them. And so very quickly our rebuttal was, well, you're asking the wrong questions. And it's an interesting rebuttal because it's the same rebuttal I give to sellers when they ask, what's your commission fee? What's your commission fee? What's your commission fee? I say the same thing to a seller that I would say to a potential recruit. And I'd say, Mr. or Mrs. Seller or Mr. or Mrs. Recruit, you're asking me the wrong question. And then you pause and you say, the better question is, if you were to choose to list with me or work with me as a buyer's agent, how much more money would you save? And same thing to an agent. If you were willing to move your business over to our organization and partner with us, how much more money could you net if you chose to come into our world? So I'm kind of prefacing the recruiting conversation with the actual literal verbiage that you would use if you were choosing to go after someone. I would love to reference Michael Mayer's book, The 7 Levels of Communication, as well. There's the right way and the wrong way to recruit agents. How many of us have seen ads online? How many of us have gotten an email? How special do you not feel when somebody sends you an email and says, congrats on your amazing year last year, and they don't even use your name or give any stat about your year? Would love to chat with you about opportunities with insert brokerage or team name. I obviously know that that went out to everyone or to their avatar, their demographic that they're going after. What would make somebody feel special? Typically, you're going to sit down with someone who you already know, like, and trust. Definitely someone you have respect for. Otherwise, you feel like it's a waste of time and you're going to a sales pitch. So be sure in the way you choose to communicate, back to Michael's book, 7 Levels, that you're communicating in the right way to get what you want. And so I like to talk about this through the sales cycle. It's the same thing through the recruiting cycle. Step 1, you need to have a person that you know you want to go after. So what does your avatar look like? What kind of a person do you think you can offer value to is the number one question. And I know in a lot of our coaching, we get into the dependent model, the interdependent model, and then the independent model. Are you recruiting a dependent agent, somebody that needs taught, somebody that needs handheld, doesn't know how to do their first deal, somebody that maybe isn't even licensed? Are you going after the interdependent agent, someone that already has done over 100 transactions? They already know the business, but they still work at a brokerage. They still need admin support and a few other functions. Or are you going after independent people who are already running their own brokerage, or they have a team that's a satellite office all on their own, operating on their own? And knowing who you're going after is going to be key, and it's also going to change the messaging. Depending upon if they're dependent, interdependent, or independent, the way you catch them as a lead is going to be different. And like I shared earlier, we do cover all of this. We have a whole month dedicated to recruiting, and that month is coming up in the month of April. So if you want more information about Elite Real Estate Systems Coaching, we actually have some special promotions we're running right now leading up to the Team Building Summit. You can find anything and everything out about the Elite Real Estate Systems Coaching organization, modern coaching for the modern agent, all being offered to you in group coaching, a group coaching platform that we do on Zoom. Everything's recorded and indexed. So if you can't attend live, we have the recordings for you. We train every Monday, Wednesday for agents, every Tuesday for investors, every Thursday for team leaders. And we've just recently launched, effective the month of April, mortgage coaching, title company coaching, and insurance agent coaching, which is, I think we now are the only real estate coaching organization in the country that offers coaching in so many different realms and so many parallels that are all synergistic to one another. So if you want more information about any of this, go out to growwithers.com and you can find out more information there, as well as receive free downloads for our keynote and a few other items there as well. All right. So to the sales cycle of a recruit, first defining the avatar. Next, once you've defined that avatar, knowing how to communicate to the avatar to get a face-to-face meeting. You can't get somebody to join your organization through an email, but you might be able to get them to come to an event, or you might be able to get them to come to coffee. I know for me personally, even though I am a millennial, I was born in 1981, I'm okay with someone trying to call me and leaving a voicemail. I definitely wouldn't just rely on a voicemail. I would also want to get a text and possibly an email. So it's okay using a mass email as long as it's to a specific avatar, but I would recommend and I would caution you to not make it feel like they're just one of many. Do something special. You can find out if they're a realtor, how many deals they sold the previous year in the multiple listing service. How much more special would they feel? You can have an admin do this for you, but log into your email and send out an email or a Facebook message or an Instagram message that says, hey, John, congrats on your year last year. I saw you close 27 houses per the MLS in our area. And we're looking for agents that have done around a total of 50 deals in their career, or that average 25 sales a year or more, whatever you want to say. But of course, make them feel special for the successes that they've had. And we're looking for a few more brokers or agents to add to our organization. And we'd love to sit down and chat with you about opportunities. We can make this very private. We don't share your information with anyone. Here are some of the times I have available, what works for you. And that could be a voicemail greeting or voicemail that you drop. That could be a text you send. And that could be an email or direct message or Facebook message, et cetera, that you send. And you do that in all the ways. And then, of course, tracking. So no different than a lead that you would try to generate cold off of your client relationship management software. You can literally use the same CRM to recruit. And we did that for a very long time. So we would put all of our potential recruits into Boomtown, and that's still the CRM system we use today. I know if you're a Keller Williams person, you could use Command. A lot of organizations have different CRMs that they make available. Your recruiting process is no different. You can put people on drip emails, drip text messages. You can have the same systems in place that you would use to convert an internet lead, a sphere lead, or an outbound prospecting lead for recruiting the recruit leads. So once you have sent out the text, email, voicemail, et cetera, the goal is to get them to meet in person. At a minimum, get them on a phone call. I think it's probably rude. I would feel like it's rude if someone calls and right away gets into their spiel. And that's why it's understanding that sales process. The goal isn't to close them on the phone unless your close is to get them to meet you in person. And so the traditional cliche comment on a phone call that I've heard a million times is, I want to meet with you to talk about opportunities. It sounds like a multiple list or a MLM, multi-level marketing company. I don't want to talk to you about opportunities. What I typically will say is a lot of people that I talk to about potentially joining our organization or partnering with us is a better way I like to say it. I'll say a lot of people are focused on the commission splits or even the leads we generate. We like to treat your business more like a business because your active role is the money you're making from the work you're doing. Your business is your passive income, which it can generate revenue with you not being necessary. Right now, are you generating passive income from your real estate business, or is all your income coming from the activities you're doing on a daily basis? 99% of agents are only making money off their active income. So that could be one of the hooks that gets someone to go, wow, that's interesting. I haven't thought about my passive income. And you could say, here at our organization, we actually teach agents to create passive income, not only in their real estate business, but also in their investment business, in their crypto investments, in their whatever and other investments, because our goal isn't that you just become a cog in our wheel. Our goal is to help you live and lead the life of your dreams. We want to help you define your why, and then we want to show you that how partnering with us will allow you to generate the revenue to help you create a solution to living and leading your best life. We're helping you solve the why that you have in your life. And so once you get them in person, my number one place to meet would be at the office. And the day I would want to bring them to our office is the day that we have the best culture and the most buzz, which would be our weekly team meeting, our broker meeting. And I would invite them to attend that meeting. So best case scenario in a call, I'm going to ask them to come out to that actual meeting and attend the meeting to kind of check things out. And then I would take them on a tour afterwards. Before going further, I might grab Dana, who's my assistant, who's here with me right now, and do an actual role play phone call. I don't think I've ever done that before on the podcast. Dana, could you do that with me?
Sure.
All right, cool. You're just going to be a recruit. And Dana actually was a licensed agent. Are you still?
No.
Okay. Dana was a licensed agent for a number of years. Worked with me on my real estate team. I actually recruited him after doing a transaction with him, and now he's our producer, produces all of our podcasts and our training episodes, and does an amazing job. So, Dana, let's go back 15 years. It's mid-2000s, 2011. We're building the real estate team, and I'm making a cold call because you responded to a text after I had said, hey, I want to chat with you a little bit about your real estate career. And you're like, yeah, what's up? And now I'm calling you and you're answering, and I'm going to do a recruiting call.
Okay.
All right, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Dana?
It is.
Dana, Jeff Cohn again. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Dude, I'm really good. I'm happy. It's been 3 months since our closing of the deal we did together. And I'm happy I haven't heard back from the client. So it sounds like they're happy campers. And I really appreciate all the work you did with me to help us get that put together last minute.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Well, hey, I know you got my text message. As you know, XYZ Real Estate Group has been growing. And with that, we have a lot of great opportunities for agents at other firms or within other groups to partner with us. And there's a lot I want to talk to you about, and I don't want to take too much of your time up today on this phone call, but I was curious if we could sit down. I could buy you coffee, or I could invite you into one of our team meetings and talk to you a little bit more about opportunities with XYZ Real Estate Group.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. Well, we meet every Tuesday, 11:15 to 12:15. A lot of times people that are kind of checking out opportunities with us like to attend the weekly meeting so they can kind of see what the organization looks like and feel the culture, feel the energy, what we're doing right now over at XYZ. And then afterwards, I could give you a quick tour of the office and then we can sit down and visit a little bit more about your business. How would that sound?
Tuesdays, you said, huh?
Yep, Tuesdays, 11:15.
That's when you do meetings. Gotcha. Sure.
All right, cool. So pause for a second. He's being easy, so I'm going to take this one and run with it. But if he said, I don't really want other people to be talking about it, which a lot of people will say, I don't want my broker to find out because evidently you're not allowed to look at all the opportunities there are out in your marketplace. So if he were to say that, then I would say, no big deal. Let's go to a Scooter's Coffee or Starbucks or whatever. But in this case, he's going to allow it. So let's keep going. So awesome. Well, I'm going to put you down on the calendar. I'm going to send you an invite. I'm really excited to see you next Tuesday. If you're okay with it, I'll shoot you a quick text message Monday night just to confirm everything's good to go. And like I said, be sure to come. Be prepared with questions. Anything you want to ask me. I'm an open book. I'm really big on having an abundant mindset versus a scarcity mindset. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
Cool.
Jeff.
Thanks, Dana. Take it easy, bro. So that's it. Good job, Dana. Thank you. It's super simple. We make this too difficult. I just don't know that a lot of people are as intentional with the recruiting process. But if you're willing to pick up a phone, send a text, if you're willing to hire a recruiter full-time, which obviously your larger brokerages are going to have that, it makes that process a lot easier. But to me, it needs to come back to a business conversation, even though that's not the language of most agents, just like it's not the language of most sellers. We have to teach them what questions they should be asking by the questions we choose to ask them. So I might ask somebody, what would you hope you could net each year if you had the perfect year in real estate? That's a question I've never been asked. Most people don't talk that way. What do they talk about? They say, how many houses did you sell? A lot of people don't even say, how many are you going to sell? It's how many did you sell last year? How much production did you do? How many million in volume? It's ridiculous. We're celebrating the amount of volume. Like, why are we doing that? We're not builders. We're not selling we're not producing product that's then getting sold, but we're giving ourselves accolades based on the volume amount when that doesn't in any way delineate the net return that we got, especially if we're running a true business with overhead expenses. We should take the gross revenue we actually earned and only have kept, if you're MREA, 35, 40%. If you're a normal traditional real estate team, I'd say they're keeping 15%. We operated for 10 years at Omaha's Elite, keeping about 20%. So 70% went to our agents after gross commission came in, 10% covered overhead, and I kept a 20% net. So back in 2018, and this is all kind of side note, but just some fun facts that I think people might enjoy. In 2018, we were the number one team in the world at Berkshire. We did over 700 sides, 130 million in volume. But the business conversation was that generated $3.2 million in gross commission income, of which 70% went to agents, 10% went to overhead, and 20% went to me. And so I netted around 600, a little more than 600,000 just off the residential real estate sales. And then of course there was all the ancillary business income as well, including title, insurance, investing, et cetera, which put me well over the $1 million mark, making me 7th level, which there's not a lot of agents I know of nationally that net over $1 million a year, working less than 5 hours a week in their business. So getting people in person and then navigating a conversation. And there's a lot you can do in that conversation, but I would recommend if you can get them to take a personality test prior to coming into the office, it will help you better communicate with them in person. And so we recommend DISC test. That's still a test we're running 10 years later. You can get a free copy on the Tony Robbins website. There's a handful of them out there. And prior to the meeting, you could say to somebody, I'm really looking forward to you coming into the office next week. If you want some homework, we would love to get to know you a little bit better by you filling out this quick, 5-minute personality test. It helps you get to know yourself better, and it helps us better understand what might be important to you. Also, here's a link to the website. Here's a link to some cool technology we use. You can essentially have your recruiting informational link you send them to if you're that advanced. Otherwise, just point them to a few places to check out more information about you guys. They're already going to know to go to all your social media pages and all of that. But if you have other places you want to point, and then when they show up, you're going to be able to that much better understand who they are, if they're an SC, IS, DI, et cetera, which might change the way that you choose to communicate with them. Over the next 4 weeks in the month of April, we're going to be getting into all of the best places to go after those recruits. Once you've defined the avatar, once you've kind of honed in on what you know you're going to want to talk about. Well, obviously today I talked a little bit more about that sales process of finding the right recruit, how to communicate to them to get them in person. When they're in person, then what you're going to talk about, how to prepare them for coming to that appointment through taking that DISC test and educating them a little bit more about what your team has to offer. Elite Real Estate Systems over the next couple of weeks is going to go deep into where to find those avatars. What's the best mediums for communicating to those avatars? How to partner with your strategic partnerships, the mortgage companies that you support, the title companies, the insurance companies, the home inspection, home warranty, roofing, landscaping. The list goes on and on and on. We have all these people in our world that we're sending deals to all the time. And we're always thinking that we want referrals back to us. I'd rather have recruits. One agent can get me 20 deals a year on average. Our agents sell about 20 houses a year, whereas one referral gets me one real estate transaction. I'd much rather have an agent that's going to get me 20 deals a year. And especially if you're thinking like a broker and you're starting to make money off of the ancillary businesses, one agent with 20 units is way better than one unit. So be thinking smarter, not working harder by trying to sell more doors. If you recruit one agent, you know each agent nets you, call it $25,000 a year. 4 agents makes you $100,000. Would you rather have 36 transactions that makes you $100,000 or recruit 4 agents a year that make you $100,000? That's a really easy answer. So I'd be asking myself right now, have I built a world where 4 agents in my ecosystem nets me $100,000? The answer for most of you is probably no. That's the ecosystem we built as we scaled our team, Omaha's Elite Real Estate Group, from 70 to over 700 sides a year. That gets to be pretty exciting when you think about recruiting. That one agent can net you $25,000. And what we've also found is if one agent comes and they have a great experience, that one agent will be the number one lead source for new recruits. Especially an agent that just got their real estate license and they have a bunch of friends that are still in school or that also just got their license that aren't having the success that our agent's having as a dependent agent with all the resources we provide to the dependent. Same thing happens with interdependent and same thing will happen with independent. Everyone watches every person that comes to your organization. They all want to know, how are they going to do with ABC company versus XYZ? Did they improve their lifestyle? Did they make more money in less time with less energy? Did the new company allow them to realize their dreams while the company previous was not a solution to them being able to realize their dreams? So we're going to wrap on that. Tried to give you guys a few nuggets that you can apply in your recruiting process, your recruiting effort. Would love to get you guys on board if you have yet to sign up or if you signed up in the past and are considering signing up again. Would love to bring more people into the Elite Real Estate Systems family. We have over 100 active team leader clients right now in our group coaching program. That gives them unlimited seats for individual agents. So if you're a brokerage or a large team, all of your agents will get access to our Monday, Wednesday trainings. It's all in a group setting. Mondays are topical. We have about 6 months worth of content that we train on. Every 6 months we rotate through. And then every Wednesday is dialogue around the Monday topic. So if Monday's listing presentation, it's the topical conversation about how to do one, how to prepare for one, et cetera. And then Wednesday's the role plays and the dialogues. And we bring your people on live on the Zoom, no different than us right now recording this podcast episode. And we allow them to role play with our trainers. And then every Tuesday, we go deep into investing. We have 6 months worth of investment topics, and it's 30 minutes of topical, 30 minutes of Q&A. And then every Thursday is all the team building topics. So like I said, the month of April is all on recruiting, and it's 30 minutes of topical, 30 minutes of Q&A. So you always can ask questions to our coaches on Thursdays. And then starting in April, we're also going to be launching mortgage lender, insurance agent, and title company training as well. And you can make those trainings free of charge for your strategic partners, vendor partners, or joint venture partners that are in those spaces. So as a broker owner or team leader, you sign up, we actually are offering our product right now at 50% off for 3 months. And so you can use all of those resources for $500 a month. So there's nothing like it in the industry. We're changing the industry by creating a coaching arm that offers coaching solutions, training solutions to every business that's inside the residential real estate experience. And we're helping organizations take their people, across all these different industries and help them become the best versions of themselves. And we know that by doing that, people are going to make more money, less time, less energy. It's going to help you retain agents. It's going to help you retain your ancillary businesses, your partnerships, and create more value so that people can live and lead better lives. And that's what the Team Building Podcast represents. That's what our brand in Nebraska, KW Elite, represents. And that's what the Elite Real Estate Systems solution has brought to the industry across the country. So thank you guys so much for listening and for supporting us. I also would love to invite you, if you have a topic you would like us to cover, if you have a guest you'd like us to bring on, there's not a person we won't reach out to. If you have a celebrity you want us to reach out to, an author, a thought leader, a motivational speaker, doesn't matter who it is, and you have always thought, man, that'd be awesome if they did an interview with that person. If you have a recommendation, we'll actually bring you on if you're interested. I'll interview the individual and you can come on as well on Zoom and we can do the interview together. So feel free to pick a person. We've had a lot of success. I don't think anyone we've invited has said no. We try to get team leaders in the residential real estate space, broker owners, and thought leaders. So feel free to fill any of those roles, and we would love to try to bring that guest on the show. The best way to reach out to me is my Instagram handle, which is @JeffMCone. So if you haven't followed me yet, go out to Instagram today. Just go out to @JeffMCone and put me in there, get me added, follow us, and feel free to message me about any of this stuff. And until next time, we really appreciate you guys following the podcast. We look forward to seeing you at our next event.